Stellar Blade is one of the most hyped up game releases of the first half of 2024, and there has been so much talk about the fantastic marketing material that Shift Up has put out for the title, but now we're actually finding out that Stellar Blade's Thirst Trap outfit will make your game harder, and people are just simply praising this title on social media. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, obviously, we know a big part of Stellar Blade are the characters' assets and how good they look, and this has been something that so many of us gamers have been praising for months and years since it was initially announced, simply because there are so many titles that release where the developers say they intentionally toned down the characters' body proportions or their outfits because they felt it appealed to something like the male gaze, which of course is an absolutely ridiculous concept. But now we're finding out that, of course, if you choose to basically not wear armor, not only is the game harder, that comes as kind of a no-brainer, but also there is a kind of special skin that goes along with it. It says Stellar Blade is shaping up to be a dramatically popular title, but there are split reasons for that. On one side, you've got the players eager to soak up what looks like a genuinely enjoyable post-apocalyptic, action-packed title, and on the other, there are the gamers who are desperate to see enhanced butt jiggle physics unfold in real time. If we were not, attacked typically for wanting to simply look at jiggle physics, and developers were not consciously keeping them out of their games, this actually wouldn't be that big of a deal. This game would probably not have as much hype surrounding it, but because it seems like the developers really know what their players want and they're actually listening to our feedback, this game has gained just another level of hype behind it. It says the game's developer Shift Up hasn't been coy about Stellar Blade's protagonist, making it clear why the character Eve looks the way she does. It was great to hear the Shift Up director come out and say, we made all of our characters look beautiful and attractive because we don't want to see average. We are talking about a video game, and of course games are a form of art. If you want to see, the most attractive characters you could possibly imagine, that should be okay, and you should not be attacked for wanting to simply appreciate fictional characters' beauty. I recently did a video on an article that the Mary Sue put up calling male gamers creepy for simply thinking that Eve is attractive and all of the characters in this game look great, which is absurd. But it says on social platforms, images of Project Eve wearing her skin suit circulated like wildfire. There were in-game clips leaked that showed off all kinds of angles. One that gained particular traction was of Eve climbing up a ladder in her skin suit. However, players eager to snap up the skin suit will need to proceed with caution because recently its description was uncovered and it seems like it'll make the game much more challenging. It's up to you to decide if it's a fair trade. Skin suits are outfits specially crafted by Mothersphere. It covers the body of the airborne squad members and deploys on its own, or expands and contracts depending on the situation. In other words, it's like a living skin, but shields are disabled when you put on the skin suit. So you know how sometimes you play games and your character does not wear armor and you take a lot more damage? Well, it's a very similar situation where you are at major combat disadvantages, but at the same time, there are also other advantages, like actually being able to see Eve basically in all of her glory, and people are actually praising this decision because, they are trying their best to appeal to the audience who, of course, wants this game and who has praised this game up until this point. And, gamers are obviously not holding back their strong opinions on this title. This is the clip that was referenced in the article of Eve going up and down the ladder. And of course, all of her assets being in full view and being able to be appreciated. And it's images and videos like this that are the reason why so many people have not only supported this game, but it genuinely looks like a really fun experience. It looks like it is going to be an action-packed, post-apocalyptic game, and it does seem like they put a lot of time and effort into the actual crafting of the story and the gameplay mechanics. And while we haven't seen a lot of this game, and we have seen snippets of like the crafting system and the gearing system and clips of boss fights, it looks like it is going to be a really good experience. And it personally is one of my most hyped up games of 2024, and I know so many other people feel the same way. And of course, there are haters when it comes to this game. Like I mentioned, I did previously do a video where the Mary Sue had actually attacked male gamers, saying that you're creepy if you like the way that Eve looks and if you want to support this game because it appeals to the male gaze. And they just do not understand that it's not just the fact that she is an attractive character, that all of the characters in this game look to be pretty attractive. It's just the fact that we have this group of developers, this studio, who is actually listening to us, who is not dismissing us and ultimately attacking us like the mainstream Western industry has been doing for years at this point. When we say we want attractive characters in video games, or we want outfits that happen to show more skin, we're called sexists and misogynists, and we're called all of these terrible things simply for voicing the things that we want within our entertainment. And to see a group actually just simply give us what we want is the reason why so many people are praising them and will continue to do so, and why I think that Stellar Blade is going to be a major seller of 2024. Do I think it's going to be the best-selling game of 2024? Probably not, because it is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and there are a lot of people who still do not have PlayStation 5s, but at the same time, I do think that it is going to be a very, very hot game when it finally releases, and we already know that it has topped pre-order charts on the PlayStation storefront. There are so many people who are already purchasing it, and also on Amazon. The, of course, PlayStation 5 physical edition did have, I believe it got up to the second rank on the pre-order chart, so not quite number one, but top 3, in my opinion, is still a very big victory and a win that these developers should take. And of course, this thread has gone pretty viral, 31 million views, but while there are mostly people who are praising it, saying, I'm going to be spending an hour going up and down that ladder, there are some individuals who are trying to say, just go to Pornhub if you want to watch something like this, but they are getting absolutely ratioed and just utterly destroyed by gamers, which is pretty great to see. Of course, I will be streaming Stellar Blade at launch, and I will continue to keep my eye on the game and of course what the developers have to say about the title as we get closer to release. But we know that this game is going to be filled to the brim with very sexy outfits, very attractive characters, and now we know their thirst trap outfit will make the game even more difficult. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.